Ha ha. Yes. Well, you can talk if you want.
Oh, we can talk now?
Can I talk?
Yeah. Anybody can talk.
I'm
Just
not gonna talk.
get your face closer. Don't pull it closer. It doesn't have that much slack. What have you done?
Wearing it as a hat.
It's a hat.
It's not a
Beat
hat.
him with it.
It's a me
It's a
hat.
stylish snowball hat.
It is not.
Okay, well then
He's
it's just a regular
It's a
snowball hat.
ball. It's just a
I'm
ball.
talking into big white balls.
He wants to put it on his me.
Just put it on his me.
Yes.
I just burped.
I don't like it.
All right, we got to restart this. This is ridiculous.
No.
No, we're running late. Can't do it.
Yeah, we are.
Go, Howard.
We are running a half hour
yeah.
late.
It
It's
is.
my
It is
fault.
your fault because you had to wear it like a hat.
My fault.
Jerk.
Wait, it's his fault that we're late because he had to wear that like a hat?
Yes.
Makes sense to me. Hit the
I'm not
music.
gonna. I'm not gonna blame this man.
Hit the music.
I see how it is. I don't know. I don't actually see anything.
Oh, I'll go back. That Philly cheesesteak breakfast burrito was awesome.
Wait, I thought you were going for melts.
Oh, I got one of those too.
Brett almost died.
Oh yeah, like you were trying to talk everybody up on these melts, and then you're like, "Ah, this burrito's great."
I've lost like 14 pounds in some undisclosed amount of time, but I put back 5 days at a time today.
So what all did you get then?
He's like $3.99, $3.49. All right.
And I got a cherry lime in it.
I'll take the
Well, you got. I mean, you got to get a dessert menu item from Sonic.
Yeah.
Anytime you leave, you have to get some sort of ice cream or slush.
Maybe we should go on Friday.
Alright.
Okay.
I'll take the entire left side of the menu.
My house is, the place I'm living now is going to probably be the closest to a Sonic. If do a shoot at Sonic and the last guy away.
Oh.
But if
That
someone's
one.
driving to Bel Air, right?
I would rather go to Go there a half hour away.
Anyway, back to video games.
No.
No.
Sonic.
It's such
Sonic's technically
but
kind of a video game.
It's such a nicer location.
Anyway,
Oh god.
so about what I did.
Jumping right in.
I just want to say, if anybody hasn't played Persona 4 Arena, the online for that game is amazing. I was accepting challenges with 0 bars, and the only part that lagged were the intros.
And that is only because of an update they had to the game. Because when the game
Yeah.
launched, it had
Well,
horrible
PS3
online.
apparently was alright, but
Yeah, it was only Xbox. Yeah.
But yeah, with that update, amazing.
Mhm.
And I just want to say that I perfected some when I was using kanji,
Mhm.
which is awesome.
Well, fair enough.
That's how I'm starting that.
And that's how we welcome you to the Digital Reload. This week's episode.
Yes.
Lost your job? Here's an Xbox.
Do what?
Oh, it ties into our news
Oh,
stories.
Only
It
if
ties
I can
in.
trade it in.
Oh,
No, you can't. But you can trade in that DLC.
All right.
Yep.
I killed Megatron with Metroplex today.
Tonight, we got plenty of news. We got 2 reviews.
Maybe.
I'll let you guys know how I'm feeling.
Transformers, Fall of Cybertron, and Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance. And we might even talk about Guild Wars 2. Who knows?
Depends on how I'm feeling.
Well, is anyone here interested in Guild Wars 2?
No.
Not right now, no.
Is there potential because of the fact that all you have to do is buy it and then you never have to pay anything again?
That could potentially be it. I don't know if I want to spend the full price for it though.
See,
I understand what it does, and that's awesome.
what do you mean what it does?
Like that, I don't have to pay a monthly fee, and that's awesome. It really is.
Well, that wasn't why I was going to say that.
It looks decent from the few things I've seen.
The game looks astronomically better than the first Guild Wars.
Oh yeah.
Like I would say, it looks like a game that it looks like a $50 game.
And I might be getting Darksiders too.
next week for that 2 for $60.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toys R Us doing a 2 for $60 deal starting next week. Darksiders 2 is one of them. Max Payne 3 is an option. Sleeping Dogs is an option. Madden?
Not Madden.
Not
Oh,
Madden.
no,
See,
not Madden.
if it
Mass
was-
Effect 3.
If it
Mass
was
Effect
50
3.
Literal edition, I'd get it.
I see what
I've actually heard some really good things about Sleeping Dogs Combat.
Oh, I don't have an issue with that game.
Yeah.
It's just not interested.
Like, well,
And in Darksiders 2, I get to play as Death,
yeah.
You
Appa-
ride despair.
and I could fight Lord Boner.
No one ever calls me that. Well, sometimes.
Sometimes. But yeah, like apparently in Sleeping Dogs, it's. I mean, if anyone hasn't seen anything, it emulates like Kung Fu Cop movies. That's its big emulation.
Well, then I would be Jackie Chan.
It'd be better if it simulated Hong Kong Phooey.
Sleeping Dogs, starring Jackie Chan.
Yeah,
Starring Brock Lesnar.
but apparently the combat
No, featuring
the,
Black Panther.
the combat is orchestrated the same way as in the Batman games. It's counter and combo heavy.
Okay, that sounds alright.
Yeah, and apparently a lot of the stuff that it has you do as far as action in the game is completely ridiculous and over the top. Not like Saints Row over the top where it knows it's ridiculous. It's like over the top where you're used to seeing over the top shit in Kung Fu Cop movies. It's that stuff.
Alright, well that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Do I get the blooper reels? Because those are kind of funny with Jackie Chan.
I don't know, but I know there was one. Like I told these guys before we came on the air, there was one guy that was talking about how he was able to, or like there's videos online on YouTube of like this guy. He is riding around on a motorcycle and he finds a gang of enemies, and at the last second he jumps off the motorcycle, activates the slow motion, and uses his guns to shoot and blow up the motorcycle in the middle of a gang of enemies.
That sounds awesome. What I would have liked to hear more about that is that he activates the slow motion and has a like unlimited amount of guns. He just starts throwing at them.
Well, apparently,
No, you shoot guns out of a bigger gun.
well, apparently for like the first couple hours of that game, you don't get a gun. It's all hand-to-hand combat.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So he shoots smaller guys out of a bigger guy. You don't really want to say where it's coming out at and where you have to hold.
And
but-
apparently and apparently the melee is actually a lot better than like the gun combat. So the only
gun combat in those kinds of games is kind of ass.
yeah, the only time you're gonna need they didn't say the gun combat was awful, but it's just
no, just like with that kind of game.
But can I fart in a jar as a weapon?
no, because it's
As the maximum upgrade.
no, because it's not a tongue-in-cheek game. That's the thing about it. It's not a
Never mind. I was gonna say something derogatory, but it's not gonna be helpful to the conversation, so I'll leave it.
yeah. Fair enough.
Is it anything worse than what I was doing with the Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance title? That was pretty awesome.
I gotta drop this. I got a distance for you. The drop.
So what has everybody been playing?
Dream Cream.
What have you been playing?
Fall of Cybertron.
All right.
Metroplex is amazing.
Metroplex is amazing.
See, I'm upset that Megatron, who was created for the Transformers movies, didn't rip Jazz in half.
Didn't what?
Hey,
Uh,
Jazz's voice actor did a pretty good job of sounding like Scatman Crothers.
Oh, yes, he
Yeah,
did.
I really enjoy the voice actor for Jazz.
He sounds now. If he had only said that's Snow Fair, I think I would have. Had a dream drop distance.
And Nolan North voices Cliffjumper.
Yep.
So if you're
Cliff says that guy's jumped before.
how many cliffs has he jumped? I'm sure he jumped a few in the '80s cartoon.
There's a few.
Oh, okay.
He also has a sniper rifle.
All right. Hey, so boy, what have you been playing? Fall of Cybertron?
And last story.
I picked that up today. I haven't played
Yes.
it. So.
It starts off a little slow, but when it starts picking up, it picks up real quick.
Yeah, like 30 hours in.
No, not that far. No.
30 hours of straight line clomping.
So is it too early to ask which one you lean more towards, Xenoblade or Last Story, or Lost Story?
I don't think you.
I didn't play
You didn't
Xenoblade.
play Xenoblade.
Oh, I thought he played Xenoblade.
So that's an
We'll
easy
have
answer.
to wait
So that's
for
an
Brett.
easy answer for
I'll
me.
wait for Brett.
Okay.
I plan to start it possibly tomorrow.
I thought you had played Xenoblade.
I did not.
That's weird.
I was thinking about it, but I said, maybe not.
Why?
You can borrow it from me if you want. I have to find what box it is first.
Did you ever finish it?
No, but
It's
I
kinda-
got pretty far in.
It seems like it's kind of a hard game to finish.
Brett-
easily.
There was a lot. There was a lot to do in that game.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
Brett is always the kind of guy that he may stop for a while, but he'll always come back to it
I'll come
eventually.
back and be like, what the hell am I supposed to do now?
Nope, start over. Do it again.
Yeah. Fall of Cybertron, I played that. Also played Counter-Strike Global Offensive, or whatever it is. Global Offense.
That's offensive.
Hey, he had Bob the Painter,
I did.
and that guy was cleaning house.
I was teamed up with a guy named Bob the Painter, and he was fucking people up. He died once.
I was
He-
using a G term, but
Yes.
this guy over here using
Bob
R.
the Painter, painting things with your blood.
Yes.
He was cleaning house.
He was 10-1. That was his kill to death ratio, 10 to
Would
1.
you say it was an even coat?
Yes. The game is actually kind of fun. It's very old school in its mechanics. Like there's not the whole Call of Duty like hold the gun closer to aim. There's no iron sights. At least not in the time that
Can
I
you
spent
run
with
forward, spinning, shooting wildly in every direction.
Yeah, I usually take my shoes off and I equip a gun in my left foot when I'm spinning around.
it. I mean, I guess you could, but it's not going to be
I'm
effective.
not very accurate, but I fire more bullets that way.
Maps are kind of small.
You should have a game mode where it's basically just fire as many bullets as possible. That'd be a pretty cool game mode. Just like running around just flailing and with like rocket launchers and shit. That'd be kind of fun. I would do that.
At the every time you spawn, you earn money by killing people, and then you can use the money to buy a different gun to start off with. Every time you'll start off with a pistol and knife, but you can buy another weapon before you spawn. And then as long as you stay alive, you get to keep that weapon. When you die, you're back to just a pistol and knife. So that was kind of neat. We messed around with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure HD version.
Yeah, the character I picked was way better than yours.
Yeah.
Oh, blah, 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 blah,
Because your
blah.
character actually had that spirit thingy bobber. I don't know what part of it they're calling an HD remix because it looks like ass.
It looks pretty dookie.
It
I
looks.
have a problem with playing as the character I was using, but the game did look like.
Oh, it played just fine. Playing the game mechanics play just fine, but it just looked like ass. I don't even know how the hell they get away with calling it an HD remix.
It is remember, it's a bizarre adventure.
No, it was bizarre, right? Bizarre looking.
Well, I mean, it wasn't even like just because the art was bizarre. It just looked awful. Like,
It really did.
Again, bizarre.
then played Expendables 2. That game is dick.
Yeah, but you got to be Dolph Lundgren.
I did get to play as Dolph
That's
Lundgren.
something, right?
It's not what I was expecting it to be. Like, it really wasn't. I thought it was just going to be a goofy arcade shooter. You know, like you stick 1 to move, you stick 2 to shoot.
Oh, like that assault.
Assault heroes. Like, that's what I thought it was going to be. But it's like they're actually literal with a lot of their weapons. You can only play as Terry Crews, Jet Li, Sylvester Stallone, or Dolph Lundgren. So you can only play as those 4. Dolph Lundgren gets a sniper rifle and a shotgun. Jet Li throws knives.
Which character did you go with? Want to be?
He
Though I thought that it was Jason Statham character that was the knife thrower.
is. That's why it was weird. And, like, the range on some of the weapons are really awkward, and because the trigger is to shoot, it's really weird to aim, and you miss a lot, and it's just
Hey, you can
awful.
Hide, you can hide, use cover.
Yeah, you can use cover, but it was just awful. Like, it was just not fun. I'm like, it would be so easy to make that kind of game for Expendables and make it fun, but they failed miserably.
Well,
It was just not cool.
on that note, I've been playing Persona 4 for PS2 and Persona 4 Arena. So,
Are you gonna get Persona 4 Golden
no,
Edition?
'cause that's on the Vita.
Oh, I know.
So that doesn't do me any good, unfortunately.
But I think there's
you
a-
could stare at it real good.
But it was awesome because I fought a boss yesterday in Persona 4 that I read online people were bitching about. I housed that guy. I don't see what the complaints are about.
Well, you should go on the forums and be like, bitch.
But Persona 4 Arena, I think I played about probably between 30 and 40 matches, and I probably lost around 7 to 10 of them.
Oh my god.
Though I did get housed a few times. So mazel tov to those guys.
Mazel tov on your bar mitzvah.
Yep.
Shalom hunger, shalom free food.
But I will say, in Persona 4 Arena, once again, the art line is awesome. And I feel that each character feels significantly different than most of the other. Like, each character feels kind of different compared to some other fighters.
So they're not palette swapped.
Get out of here.
We don't always see that in some fighters. Like, I don't know. I'm a Street Fighter.
But you love that game.
I do, but I don't use the characters who will play very slow.
What the hell?
What the hell?
What the hell? That's. I just want my news stories. Thank you.
When you guys come over Friday, we're gonna play that song.
Why did I?
You guys will love it, trust me.
Why did you even invent this?
To
It's
be
so
fair,
gross.
To be fair, I'll let you guys play each other first, and I'll jump in.
Oh, how kind of you.
You're welcome.
And then we'll all quickly stop playing because you'll make it not fun.
I'm not as good as. Well, I'm alright at that game. I still have a lot to learn.
I've watched you play practice mode. Doesn't matter how great you think you are, you're still going to be head and shoulders above the rest of us.
And knees and toes.
You could have practiced. I got you an achievement, thank you.
Yeah, and I practice at your house. I did play it.
Yeah, we can practice some more.
It does have an easy combo button. The A button will do an automatic combo if you keep hitting it. It's whatever. The X button. Sorry.
A is your other attack.
A is the other attack, okay.
Y and B are your persona attack.
Okay. Yeah, so X, if you hit it 4 times in a row, it's just an automatic combo. Just hit X then. X is like an automatic
When
combo.
you do an all-out attack, you use X and A, and then after you hit them with it, you have to match X and A to, and you can do up to 15 hits. And if you want to throw, you have to hit Y and B. Yosuke's throw poison enemies.
Interesting.
It is very interesting. It does feel very different compared to most 2D fighters. I even say it feels quite different to most Axis fighters. Yeah, they did a real Arxis. They did a real good job of just making the fighter feel unique.
I'll let you guys play it. You can talk about it next Monday, and then maybe I'll do a review on it.
Maybe. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Who knows? Who knows?
Anyway, to news.
Yes, to
I mean,
news.
Persona 4 Arena. Let me get now.
Let's talk about Mass Effect 3.
Mass Effect 3. I can beat you with the microphone. Anyway, news.
I like Mass Effect 3. I thought that game was pretty good.
I like Mass Effect.
Yeah, enough on Mass Effect. Let's go to news. I stopped talking about the show. You can not talk about Mass Effect.
So because you stopped, we can't talk about Mass Effect at all?
You guys had your Mass Effect show, thank you. Where's my Persona 4 Arena show?
I don't know. When have you said that you're ready for a review?
I said next
Yeah,
week.
next week. So there you go.
I'm gonna put you on the spot.
That's your you're gonna be the only one talking next week.
Oh,
Just
no,
you.
No, you guys will.
No.
Maybe we'll ask
no.
questions. Maybe
No, you'll lend your. How you feel about the game
It'll-
when you play it on Friday.
it'll be Brett Schrader's Q&A.
I don't think we should go to his house though.
We should,
That way he can do the show himself.
But there's air conditioning now.
there is air conditioning. It's actually a pretty decent house. It's a pretty decent house. All things considered.
By myself.
There's on all by yourself. That futon. The futon can sit 2 people
Actually, probably 3.
comfortably. Us.
You do know what friends you have.
I'm
right?
thinking 2.
Consider me a friend.
I'm thinking 2.
There's 2 on the futon, 2 on those other chairs, and then
1 on the computer chair. Yeah.
That should work.
There you go. It's fine.
Someone outside.
Any extras
the
gonna
rain.
have to sit in the laundry room.
And then we'll get you a nice beanbag chair.
You should get a sumo sack. Those things are awesome.
They're fucking
Yeah,
expensive.
if they weren't so expensive, I'd actually buy one.
I have seen them. I have not sat in them.
Should have
But
tried to win one with control at the loop had
yeah,
I like the comic that they have on that with the guy sitting in it and he sinks in and he's like, no.
I know I know a few people that have actually sat in those, and they're fucking comfortable. Like they are amazing.
When I get some extra money, when I build up my funds, I will consider about buying one.
Buy a sumo sack,
Yeah,
and plus he's got a mini fridge.
I do. That will have Capri Suns in it.
Capri Sun.
Are they the adult Capri
Which
Suns?
kind of cooler? What kind of cooler did you get?
I didn't. I was at BJ's and I bought them there. There's tropical punch. I think cherry, grape, And
So it's like a variety pack.
yeah, that's some other flavor.
Okay.
No, they're not the adult ones.
Ah,
If they had a big pack of those, I would have got them.
those are good.
I like
The
I
adult
like the
Capri Suns are
Pacific
good.
And the mountain coolers.
Oh yeah, I like the coolers. Unfortunately,
Yeah, the Pacific coolers are really
the
good.
natural ones.
Good. Anyway, first news story, I guess.
Yep. Hey,
Hey, at BJ's, I got 40 things of Capri Sun, 72 bagel bites, and 42 links of sausage for $22.
Jesus Christ.
what I'm hoping is it's actually a sack of sausage links that were individually counted out by the person at the deli.
No, they're
And they're
breakfast
tiny, like
sausages.
comical sausages, you know, like the cartoon sausages, where it's just like a little link with the.
No, they're breakfast sausage, and this is Bob Evans, the good kind.
Oh, or they're like freshly made, like right in front of them until they count out. So 1, 2, 3, bam.
And decently priced there. $7.99 for 42 links of sausage.
Oh, it should be for like the 30 or however many bucks you got to pay for the membership. Well, you didn't have to pay anything.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, they're like $4 if you go to grocery store. Anyway, let's go to news. Go
All right,
on.
let's try again. Sure, we're gonna try now. All right, so Sumo Digital, who's making Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing Transformed. No, we're good. Have actually made great claims about the Wii U and its graphical power, and how when porting the game over, they had initial fears that they were going to have to dumb down graphics. They're going to have to do something to work on the game to make it playable on the Wii U. Apparently, they didn't have to do shit. Apparently, because the Wii U is actually quite powerful and actually holds more memory than a PS3 or a 360. So not only were they able to just straight over port the game without any graphical changes as far as downgrading, they were able to upgrade because the more memory equals a better frame rate, which also means they can display more going on at one time at a greater distance.
Yeah.
So apparently the Wii U is powerful, and apparently for that, maybe that's why porting has been such a big thing for them, getting all these pre-existing games on there, because it's just a straight shot over. There's no downgrading of anything, and they're actually able to get more out of it right now, which I think it's what Nintendo kind of needed to do. It needed to, at the very least, the Wii U needed to be as powerful as a PS3 or 360, if not a little more. And apparently these reports are saying it is a little bit more, which makes it easy for people to port games over to.
I think the only problem though is when, like, say when Microsoft and Sony releases their new system next year,
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know.
then they're kind of.
They're gonna be fucked again. But I mean, Nintendo has said over and over that their goal is not to directly compete with those two companies, and that graphics aren't everything. Because I mean, technically, of this generation, the Wii is still the top-selling console.
It doesn't have to convince me. I feel that graphics aren't everything. Too.
No.
Yeah.
The Nintendo's competitors is now Apple. I stand by this.
With the Wii U or before?
In general.
In general, why is Apple only competing with Nintendo? Why are they not competitors with Xbox and PlayStation?
No, because they decided they have their own little pad there, you know. They said iPad, oh no, we can do that for a real console. You don't need to carry that around everywhere.
Yeah, but that's not the purpose of the iPad. I don't see how that's competition. The iPad's purpose, that argument is not, and that's not. I know that's not you making the argument. You're saying that's Nintendo's argument. If that's Nintendo's argument, that's fucking retarded. Because that's like people use that iPad for so many different things besides that. So
You use the Wii Pad for many things.
yeah, but you can only use it in front of your system when the system's on.
I know that Iwata said in an interview that I was reading that basically they're not competing with Apple either.
Yeah, they're and that the battery life on that thing is like 3 hours. They are not competing with Apple.
That's poopy.
Considering my iPad with constant use every day, the battery it takes like 4 to 5 days before that thing runs down to where I want to charge it again. The battery is ridiculous on the iPad. There's no way they're competing. If they're trying to compete with Apple, it's a mistake because that thing is not going to do it.
Yeah, if I'm using my iPod Touch for music, that thing will last for more than a week.
I use the iPad for internet surfing, video games, everything.
Well, once I start using it for games, that's when it starts killing my battery.
Starts killing it a little bit, yeah. But I mean, even with the iPad, like it's days before I have to charge it again. So, I got no problem with that, and they're gonna keep going up. So, I just think if the Wii U comes out and it focuses on all brands of gamers, because I have no problem with that controller. That controller can be used for decent stuff once developers think of other things other than let's put our map and inventory screens on there. Once you evolve past that, I think that it opens up opportunities to have decent experiences on it, but I think it's going to come down to, once again, those decent experiences are going to be first-party Nintendo titles.
Yeah.
And maybe
it's basically
Ubisoft.
Just a DS in your living room.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
But is it something that you'll care about when the next Smash Brothers comes out?
But they're putting the Smash Brothers game on the 3DS.
Yeah.
So
That'll be great.
And it might be cross-compatible, which would be awesome.
Yeah, they are working on crap. They're not saying for sure,
And
but
I think that they're going to just pull what they've done with many other generations of consoles and make their portable cross-compatible with that, with the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember when we were playing.
So when I'm playing Super Smash Brothers for the Wii U, and I need to go to work, I can just send it over there.
No, you have to buy both. Yeah, well, you have to buy both copies of the game. That's the only kicker.
I just want to make fun of that because
It's stupid.
What I kind of keep a track on when I have to go to work. So I'm going to make sure I'm not going to do something that's going to overlap. Like, oh no, what do I do now? Well, I guess I just lost my progress.
Mm-hmm. At the same time, though, if Nintendo were to take the model that Sony's doing now of the cross-buy, where if you buy the console version, it gives you a download of the Vita version. If Nintendo were to do that, where say, hey, if you go out and you get the Wii U version of Smash Brothers, we'll give you a download code to download the 3DS version directly to your 3DS. That would be enticing.
That'd be alright.
I think
That would be pretty damn
Nintendo, and just as an aside,
Mm-hmm.
the 3DS is doing pretty well.
Yeah.
They need to just bombard people with content. They need to put more downloadable games on this.
I just want Fire Emblem.
I really do want Fire Emblem.
If you had the Ambassador program, they had Sacred Stones was a download.
Well, I mean, I went the new Fire Emblem.
Oh, well, that'll be
But what I would like if I would like to see them do is if they could put do some rough translations of the other Fire Emblems, put them on the store. That'd be awesome too.
I think they need to focus more on this downloadable titles. I think they'll make more money that way. I want to see redone versions of Pokemon. I want to see more NES games. I want to see more I want to see Super Nintendo games on that thing. It can do it.
Because Fire Emblem 6 was for the GBA 2, but they didn't bring that out in America. And that was one of the characters in Melee. Roy was.
There's almost I can't think of too many reasons why they can't make most of the games on the Wii shop available on the 3DS.
If I could have Ogre Battle 64 on the go, I need to change of pants.
That would be quite a dream drop distance for you.
Yeah.
I'd be excited for that. I don't know. I mean, I want the Wii U to be good. Like, I want things to come out for it that are exciting. Just right now, they've done nothing to get anybody excited. If there's someone excited out there for the Wii U, I want to know what they're excited about. I want to know what it is.
It's coming out.
It's coming. I want to know what it is that has them excited. That's all. I just want to know. All right, so next news story. Capcom is saying that the doubts over the new look of Dante in the upcoming DMC, Devil May Cry game, are dissipating. The game was first announced and the new design of Dante was shown, the skinnier, black-haired, hipster kind of Dante. Not many people were happy. A lot of people prefer their silver-haired, bad attitude, red-cloaked Dante from the first Devil May Cry, from the third Devil May Cry, from the fourth one.
Not so much the second.
We don't talk about 2.
Yeah, no one likes to.
We don't talk about 2.
My brother played 2 more than I did.
But
That explains a lot. No, I'm kidding.
And that's the one I don't have.
But now apparently those doubts that everybody had are dissipating. People are more open to design because of seeing gameplay. Good for them, because I still don't like it.
I don't really care. I think he looks okay. I just don't see like it. From what I hear, he's still like a wise ass. And if he's still got the same personality and everything, and he has both his pistols and his sword, why change his look? I don't understand.
I got a feeling they'll try and appease fans in the game somehow.
Well, when he goes devil, he turns into...
there's that.
Yeah, he gets white hair when he goes in devil mode.
Once again, his look doesn't actually bother me that much. But I don't think I'll buy Devil May Cry anyway.
Yeah, I'm just not excited for the game. Like, I think I'm actually tapped out of Devil May Cry. Because I've seen so many gameplay videos of it, and I don't get excited.
If I could, I don't know, get it for $30 at like a Toys R Us sale or something, I'd buy it. But not 60.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a $60. It doesn't look like any dollar purchase for me.
The publisher.
Capcom.
I'd probably just Redbox just to go through the single player.
I mean, I don't know. Unless a demo comes out that really wows me, I'm just not feeling anything for it.
Redbox at my work got it, and I probably just rented.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it.
Rent it, blow through the single player. All right, done.
Yes.
Oh.
So, Uncharted movie continues its ways of bad luck.
Nobody wants it.
Yeah. So,
Well, I think they have. I mean, such a National Treasure writers. Based on those movies, I guess they have okay writing team.
well, yeah, they have a new writing team now. It's Marianne and Cormac Wibberley. They are the screenwriting duo behind the National Treasure movies. And those movies are...
As long as Nicolas Cage isn't infected in my
Yeah.
Uncharted.
I mean...
I was going to say he's going to be your Sully.
As far as the...
Oh, God, no.
As far as the genre goes...
C, D, E, F, G.
I'm going to be in the movie theater, I drop on both knees, like,
Then you explode.
Yeah.
no! And then I die.
You blow it up. Damn you all to hell.
But as far as the movie goes, I mean that writing pair is actually pretty decent, given that they've worked in the similar genre to Uncharted, so that's not all that bad.
Well, they did also write Charlie's Angels Full Throttle.
They did,
Yeah, the good one.
and Bad Boys 2.
Well, that doesn't bother me as much.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with Bad Boys 2. The director that was originally tied to the film was David O. Russell. His ideas for the franchise were god awful, so he was taken off of the project.
Favorite.
Yes, that was good, because his idea was to have Mark Wahlberg as Nathan Drake, and that Nathan Drake was not going to be a thief. He was going to be a part of a family of like archaeological protectors or some shit. And it was Joe Pesci was involved.
It belongs in a museum.
It was
I
bad.
mean, I would be really angry if Mark Wahlberg did it as long as he could lose the Boston accent.
He can't.
Yeah, so I don't want him.
That's the thing. Is like
But
he,
that would be if only he could lose that accent.
because I guess he can kind of look the part. I mean, I got nothing against Mark Wahlberg as an actor.
Just throw Mark Wahlberg in there to act, and we'll get the guy who voiced Nathan Drake there to voice.
No, Nolan North will voice Mark Wahlberg. If Nolan North was a few years younger, I would just say do Nolan North, because he looks like an older version of Nathan Drake, and he's the voice, and he actually is an actor. He does voice acting, but he's also done on camera work, so it would not be impossible. It would not be a far-fetched thing. But anyway, after David O. Russell, they brought on the director of Limitless, Neil Berger. I don't know if anybody has seen Limitless in this room.
Not.
Limitless is awesome.
I watched it with you
Yeah.
in here.
That movie is fucking awesome. and the ending to that movie is great.
I agree.
Yeah, so I was wholeheartedly behind that, but he is now off the project. So they're now searching for another director, as they now have these 2 new writers working on a draft. Hopefully they get someone interesting.
I will direct it. I will show them the game. I will play through the game for them.
I will direct it 9
I'll tell them to
times.
do this.
Wait, your name's not Uwe Boll.
Good thing it's not. I'm not gonna say anything bad about it, so I don't want to beat the shit out of me, but
He'll just grab a sock full of Nazi gold.
It's okay. He'll just make
when he was into the joke, that was all.
So you were speaking of eShop games.
Yeah, it was. I think there needs to be more of them.
Well, there's a new 3DS eShop game coming, known as
I can guess one. This game will be alright.
it's from the developers of Cave Story, Nicholas, and they're bringing a 2D fighter called Yatagarasu. I probably said that wrong, but who cares? It is actually developed by a 3-person team of former SNK talent.
Yeah, I thought it looked familiar.
Oh, yeah, did you watch the video?
I did watch the video.
It looks so much like King of Fighters, it's not even funny.
Except only like 8 characters.
Is that how many characters are in it?
I believe that's how many I read. I'm really, depending on how much it costs, I'm willing to give it a shot.
Yeah. It looks very interesting.
Maybe we'll have a demo.
It's possible.
I don't care about the demo, really. I just have to watch the video. Unfortunately, when you sent the stuff, I wasn't actually at home. So I don't see it.
Well, then you should have went home.
Well, I watched the video. It looked interesting.
It does, yeah, it looks a lot like King of Fighters. It's very interesting. The art style, the gameplay, it's one-on-one. There's no team battles. And yeah, I am curious to see how much it is and when it'll be out, because it could be pretty cool.
It'll probably be $10.
It also may have like online mode too.
Mm-hmm.
It might. Who knows? But it's probably. I don't think they dated. They haven't dated it and whatnot. So
And
we'll see how what happens when we get
Yeah,
there.
and I mean, it is only a 3-person development team.
Yeah, so I mean, I just say it'd be awesome to do it. I'm not expecting it to.
Yeah.
But I mean, from the video, it looks decent. I mean, so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so one artist, one programmer, one sound guy.
Essentially.
Which is why the fact that there's only 8 characters, I'm not like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Other people.
well, no, just wait. Those 4 characters, downloadable content.
Well, 3DS doesn't really do too much DLC.
No. They're doing the Capcom thing, trust me.
Well, if Brett says it, he's probably right.
I look at Grappler.
Yep, there is a grappler character. So,
But yeah, some people were complaining about how oh, Zangief's mood. It's like, well, there's the one guy who's doing Taekwondo, isn't that Kim?
Well,
it's
that kind of
it's minor stuff. I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
As long as it plays well.
I mean, I guess
That's
I
how I
can't
feel.
expect everybody to be like Kanji for Persona 4, where he just grabs and goes to the other side of the screen, and then Persona drops down with a giant lightning bolt at you.
Yeah.
It's Obama.
So,
It's Barack Obama.
who's excited for election coverage?
Me.
I'm not, but I just know I already know who I'm going to be voting for anyway. But I think it's actually a cool idea that they're going to do it. That way, that hey, if you want the election coverage, you have it on Xbox.
Yeah. Hey.
It makes sense. I'm not against it. It
I
makes
don't really
sense.
care.
It's a way to educate more people. So.
Starting the 27th, there will be an election 2012 hub that you'll be able to look at and read stuff and watch stuff. Probably watch all the.
I just want to say that Mitt Romney's grandfather was a noob.
I
Yes,
saw
he
that.
was. Yes, he was.
And I think Mitt Romney himself
It
was
was
a noob.
it was for the walls.
It was for the laws. I'm not going to go into my hatred for Mitt Romney, but I think it's a lose-lose situation. And this is actually a neat feature. I just want to point out that how can the greatest company in the or greatest country in the world be baffled by a third political party? That's all I'm going to say.
Because it's big and scary, and they don't want it. They don't want it.
No.
Because it's scary.
Scared of
Because
change.
if they're scared of change, and if it changes, then they'll poop their pants.
You know what I did want? I did want a new The World Ends With You game.
I wanted a new one.
And that's what I'm saying, a new one. And I thought that with that counter that Square Enix made a website that was counting down to something involving The World Ends With
Well,
You.
if you buy for iPad, they're going to give you a second one. Maybe.
Is that what they said?
No, but just buy for the iPad.
But
I mean, whatever you want to do. I mean, if you want to spend $2 less, then you want to buy it on an iPhone or something.
I don't have an iPhone or an iPod.
Well,
It's iPad or nothing.
$20 for you.
Yeah, so instead of announcing a new game, they've announced a remix of the first one being brought out on iPhone and iPad. $18 on iPhone, $20 for iPad.
I wasn't a huge fan of the game. I may have wanted to give it a shot, but not for $18.
That's
Square Enix is still living in the archaic ways of charging for video games. You don't charge that much for an iOS game.
Well, especially not one that was released for DS years ago.
They actually just started a second printing of The World Ends With You on DS for $20. So for the same price as the iOS version, you can get a hard copy right for your DS or 3DS.
yeah. I mean, people that have played this,
I've had it.
yeah.
World Ends With You fans.
People that have played the iOS version are saying that it is a pretty solid remix. It looks nice. It plays well. That's all well and good, but I don't know, man. I don't understand.
I have it, so I don't need to get it again.
I don't understand Square Enix's decision on charging so much for all their fucking games. Like, they charge $20 for Final Fantasy Tactics. They charge like
You can buy a used copy of it for PSP for like $8.
you can buy it. You can buy it on Vita direct download for $10.
Well, good thing that I already have it in a PSP. I mean a PSP.
Yeah, and it is the PSP version that is on iOS.
It's a good one where you will find out it's like, oh my god, Algus again.
Yeah.
I thought he was dead.
I think Final Fantasy 3 is on there for like $20. Yep. There's a new Final Fantasy game they're putting on there that's going to end up being like $30 when it's all said and done.
Yeah, because you buy it's episodic.
It's episodic, so when you by the time you buy all the episodes, it's $30.
It looks like garbage. Like the graphics don't look good at all.
I saw a video on it. I know it would be episodic though. I mean, it looked okay for me. But if it's going to be episodic...
For $30, it looks like garbage.
Yeah.
For $30 on the iPod, it looks like garbage.
I mean, these must be making them money though, if they're still
for
that.
Did that with Final Fantasy 4
Yeah,
for years.
for them.
For the Wii.
Well, no, I don't mean I don't just mean the episodic stuff. I mean the pricing. It's got to be, if they're going to keep doing it, it's got to be successful. I mean, it pisses me off because I don't currently have a copy of The World Ends With You. So it's like I'm kind of tempted to have it on my iPad and have it on that big screen, but $20 is just like.
Just buy for your 3DS XL.
That is true.
It is 1-to-1 transfer.
Mm-hmm.
With the XL, then you don't have to squish. You don't have to squish the screen.
Nope. So I don't know, man. Square Enix, you're a bunch of assholes.
Yeah,
But at least you're better than Capcom.
You can buy a hard copy on Amazon with free shipping.
Yeah. You know what I want? I want a new Final Fantasy Tactics, and not the advanced shit. I want an actual sequel.
Are you telling me you don't want to throw snowballs at people?
Fuck that.
I think what he really wants is Chocobo Dungeons.
Oh yeah,
No.
Chocobo Dungeons.
You mean you don't want to go to jail for attacking someone with a weapon?
No judges,
In the middle of a fight?
no judges, no laws. Just give me a sequel to the PlayStation 1 game.
Hey buddy, there's a red card. You're in jail.
Okay,
What
I
do
think
you
I know what
soccer?
I think I know what he really wants. He wants Ergeist too.
Oh, that RPG was so good.
It was.
And another World Ends With You.
Airgates.
And maybe another Chrono game.
You have Cross and Trigger.
Yeah. I don't know. Make another
They
one.
hate that franchise. You'll never get that.
Yeah, they're never making another Chrono game, no matter how many. What about Legend of Dragoon?
I would love Legend of Dragoon.
You
Yeah.
guys have talked so
Well,
much.
that one wasn't. Yeah, that's not a Square Enix game. It's a Sony game.
It's a Sony game, okay.
What I would
I
like.
would like to see the second one though. I like the first one.
I would like to see a re-release of Robot Alchemic Drive.
They can
Never
bring
play-
Lavitz back, 'cause
never
Lavitz
played
is
that.
awesome.
That's like, hey, you lose Lavitz. Oh,
Here's Albert. He's exactly the same. He has long hair.
No, the hell he is. His stuff is much quicker.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Microsoft is actually doing something good.
What?
Microsoft.
I know, they're giving me,
One more thing for Square Enix, Iander. That game was awesome.
Einhanda.
Bacon Story.
Bacon Story would be cool.
I actually have that on Sony Microsoft.
Another Mana game.
Parasite Eve.
I do have Legend of Mana for PlayStation.
They did that, right?
I had Secret of Mana.
Did they do that one?
Parasite Eve?
Yeah.
Parasite
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Yeah, they did. The second one sucked.
The first one was good. The second one sucked. I don't think they even decided to do. It's like, do we want to do a third one? Third one of what?
Well, no, they put the main character, Aya, whatever her name is, in, like, it's called like the third birthday or something.
You know what?
The piss.
You know what? Fuck it. Give me another bouncer.
Yeah, it was for the piss, and if you bought the game, you could get, I think Aya's costume for Lightning for Dissidia Duodecim, how it's pronounced.
Anyway, what's Microsoft doing?
The bouncer 2.
The bouncer.
The bouncer. I actually had fun with that game.
I still have that game.
I just wish it was co-op. If it was co-op, it would have made it 10 times better.
I didn't hate it.
I just laughed because so many of the characters look like characters out of FF8.
Oh, they did. They did. But anyway, Microsoft, as we talked about last week on Live, cut their staff in half. And were bought up.
Choppy your people.
And so there's 50 so people unemployed thanks to the on Live layoffs. And Microsoft is hosting a mixer for them where they will have it's an event and a public invitation to the laid off on Live employees, former employees, to have an opportunity to work for Microsoft. They will be hiring at the event. There will be hiring managers to interview each of the 50 people, and some of them will be picked up by Microsoft. Microsoft has not said how many they are looking to hire, but they will be hiring some of them and offering them a job.
Employee will have a job.
And at the end of the night, one of them will win a raffle for an Xbox 360 Connect bundle. So that is why I said, hey, did you lose your job? Here's an Xbox.
Well, at least have something to do.
But I mean, the thing is, though, how I can't.
I had to sell my television.
I can't really be upset by it because the main point of that mixer is to hire them.
Yeah, I guess, but what if you're the lucky guy who doesn't get a job?
You don't get a job, but you get the Xbox.
We hired 49 people.
But a lot of people are curious as to what the intentions are. Some people feel that they're hiring from this group because they're working on their own streaming
Throw them into the dungeon.
business.
That's pretty much what I was thinking along the lines of.
But see, my mentality is, even if that's the goal, it's still a hell of a good gesture.
Hey, Microsoft, can I get a job too?
It's right up there.
I actually need one too.
It's right up there with Epic buying up big, huge games and hiring all of them for Epic Baltimore, or I forget what they're called now.
Impossible Studios.
Impossible Studios.
With the best gaming order.
Impossible.
So, I can do nothing but appreciate the gesture, though the fact that they have a door prize of an Xbox, or a raffle prize of an Xbox, is pretty goddamn funny. That is pretty goddamn funny.
A raffle prize for a PS3.
That is very true. So anyway, let's see. What is this? Ooh. PDP, who is a third-party accessory developer for consoles, has apparently let it slip that the Wii U could be releasing November 18th.
It's got a sync button.
According to Kotaku, a rep for PDP was showing the company's fall lineup at the conference, the GameStop Managers Conference, and wrapped their presentation by saying the peripherals would be available just ahead of the Wii U's launch, the Wii U's November 18th release date, according to an attendee who asked to remain anonymous. So, apparently they let it leak. But the updates throughout the day have been a bit interesting. the first update came from the PDP community manager, Candace Hinton, who told Kotaku that at this time we can't confirm Nintendo's dates, and we don't know exactly what was heard, but we simply do not know do not know the date at this point. We are launching accessories, but the date for the accessories doesn't mean a confirmation on the hardware. If you see confirmation on the date, that is something that is going to need to go specifically through Nintendo, but we can't confirm or deny dates on any of their hardware, and that was really tough to read because whoever wrote this does not spell check their fucking shit. Way to go, Kotaku. Update 2, Nintendo has said they're not going to announce. There's nothing to announce this time. Update 3, the Senior Vice President of PDP for Sales and Marketing, William Ote, says this was all a misunderstanding. PDP is aware of recent rumors posted alleging that PDP inadvertently leaked the official release date of the upcoming Nintendo Wii U gaming system during a trade presentation earlier today. To be clear, PDP has no knowledge whatsoever of the official Wii U release date, and thus it is not possible for PDP to have leaked this information. During PDP's presentation of our fall line of gaming accessories to customers at a trade event, we stated that our Wii U accessories would be available at launch. Much later in the presentation, we showed our Epic Mickey 2 The Power of 2 accessories for the Wii, and confirmed the Wii accessories will be in stores by the game's November 18th launch. Connecting the Wii U launch and Mickey 2 peripheral launch dates is inaccurate and false. PDP has no knowledge whether this is the official Wii U release date or not. So they might have done it, they might have not, but we'll know on September 13th, because that is when Nintendo will officially announce the date and the price. That's what everybody's expecting, because Nintendo has officially said the September 13th event they're doing is a Wii U event.
Grain of salt.
What, this November 18th thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just take it for a grain of salt
Saltiest
right
thing
now.
ever.
It does coincide with the fact that it is the Sunday before Thanksgiving.
Yep. I did hear about the
Yeah.
Black Friday rumors.
Yeah. So if those are true, that could be a pretty damn accurate date. It is a Sunday. Nintendo launches on Sundays.
Well,
No,
maybe,
it's
Epic,
November 17th.
maybe Epic Mickey 2's a launch title.
I think it is, actually.
November 19th release date.
There you go.
Talk to the Undertaker.
He will save you. The Undertaker will save you. All right. So where are we at on time? We're at 52 minutes. So I don't think we're gonna do Guild Wars 2 today. I think people that want to buy the game, they know what they're getting into. I can tell you from the beta, it is very interesting. The graphical overhaul of the game is very impressive. I love their choice of job classes. They are very unique to an MMO. So if you're looking for something that is a bit of a change of pace, I'd say it's a pretty good option, especially the fact that you don't have to pay a monthly fee.
Someone's already max level.
Yes, someone is already max level 80 in the game, French player, but apparently he didn't do it by playing any of the game's content. He did it strictly through crafting, because apparently crafting can gain you levels.
And they're already changing it. So you
Yeah.
can't do that.
Yeah. So apparently he was in a guild. He just took materials out of the guild bank. They allowed him, so it's not like he was like stealing shit from his guild. But
Quote unquote.
yeah, guild materials and crafting. He got himself to 80. But
In 32 hours.
yeah. So I don't.
Oh, I hope they let you still get experience in crafting, just hopefully not as quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice if they kept that some way and just didn't allow it to be something that can get you to 80.
To be exploited.
Yeah, because the thing with me is, like, I don't see that as anything to celebrate because you didn't experience any of the game. You sat there and made shit in a room until you hit level 80. Like, your character is not equipped or able to do shit.
That's what I was going to be able to, like, you would know who did this, and you'd be like, well, I don't want you. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You don't have equipment.
Yeah, you don't know what you're doing. You haven't played any dungeons. You haven't played any bosses. You don't know what the fuck is going on. Screw you. Like, it's dumb. It's dumb. All right. But it from my experience of the beta, it was actually pretty solid. I do want to play it. I'm just not going to pick it up day one.
He's so powerful though with his underwear and his dagger. He kills everything in sight.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I did in Oblivion.
I would say give it till the fall
He must have no life.
just to let any initial server issues and the first 30-day. There's no first 30-day thing. It's free. But like,
I'll give it the first month or two.
give it the first month or two.
For a month or two, and then stop.
Let the patches come through and everything, and then give it that shot. Unless you're just aching to play Guild Wars 2. All right, so review number 1: Transformers: Fall of Cybertron, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, PC.
It's amazing.
Sequel to War for Cybertron. War for Cybertron from Activision and High Moon Studios was essentially a game that kind of paid homage to G1, but was also establishing High Moon's very own universe and telling of the Transformers mythos. So while a lot of the inspiration is from G1, it is very much its own thing.
Yep.
And Fall of Cybertron is telling exactly that, the story of the fall of Cybertron, and it is High Moon Studios' way of diving even deeper into the Transformers mythos and pulling out characters that they've really wanted to turn into playable experiences, like Dinobots and like Combiners. So you get the opportunity to play as interesting characters like the Combaticons and form into Bruticus, and you get to play as Grimlock, all spanning across, I think, 16 chapters, roughly.
Better if that guy's name was British.
Single player experience, about 6 to 8 hours, depending on the difficulty that you play on. And I can say overall, for the single player experience at least, I thought it was very interesting. I thought it was very well done. But you're really only going to get the full enjoyment out of it if you're a Transformers fan.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but I would argue that it would be a good game for anyone who likes like third-person shooters.
Pretty much. I agree with both of those.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, probably won't get the full enjoyment unless you are a Transformers fan. But with the movies out, I'd say that a lot of people at least have them still in their mind at least, and could find enjoyment.
Yeah.
His name was Bredicus, I'd buy.
Yeah, Optimus is voiced by Peter Cullen. The voice acting is pretty strong. We were talking about Jazz's voice actor sounding a lot like G1 Jazz, Scatman Crothers.
I was surprised. I was like, wait, he's supposed to be dead. He sounds really much like him.
Yeah, the original voice actor for Jazz, the movie, 86 movie, was actually his last role before he died. So he is most certainly dead.
It was just so shocking how close it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy did an excellent job. Unfortunately, we don't know the name of that current voice actor, but the single player campaign.
Nolan North impersonating a black guy.
Yeah, the single player campaign actually introduces a lot of new features for the franchise itself, not necessarily for third person shooters, but now instead of everybody having a unique weapon per se, you have a collection of weapons that you can access through the Cybertronian computer system known as Teletran 1. As you collect blueprints and pick up weapons and you deposit them into Teletran, you're able to then equip them at any point whenever you run into the computer, and a good bit of them are upgradable. A lot of the main weapons are upgradable with their last upgrade option being a special boost that is only unlockable after you do the previous 3 or 4 upgrades. And you get a wide array of weapons. You get submachine guns, sniper rifles, regular rifles, shotguns, rockets.
All kinds of stuff.
The power weapons is where you get the truly unique stuff.
Corrosive gun, and then there's one where it's like a shotgun, but it heals you when it hits
Yeah.
them.
The corrosive gun is pretty cool. I like the effect of that.
I prefer the chainsaw gun or the
The blade gun.
The blade gun.
It reminds me of Unreal Tournament.
That's my personal favorite one.
Yeah, the one that shoots the blades and it bounces off everywhere. And like each of them are upgradable because as you're killing enemies, you're
That
gaining.
blade bounce off and hit you.
It doesn't affect you. No.
Oh.
So as you're killing enemies, you gain energon, which is essentially like the money of the game, and then you use that to upgrade the weapons and also purchase tech abilities, which is like a cloak or a shield,
Health regen.
a sentry gun. And the coolest part of Teletran 1, I think, are the perks.
Yeah, you can download. You can get a permanent health boost. You can get speed boosts. You can get
Discounts.
armor, you can get discounts. You can get additional armor for your vehicle mode. Stuff like that.
Yeah, you can make the guns on your vehicle mode more powerful. And this time, instead of having 2 separate campaigns for Autobot and Decepticon, it's one universal campaign that kind of bounces you back and forth, which I thought was kind of cool. So I mean,
Different from the first game where it was 2 separate campaigns, like you said, and then each one you could pick one of 3 characters to play as.
yeah.
Which I like the streamlined. It's definitely not a bad thing, but I could definitely see why someone wouldn't like it, because you don't get as much of an opportunity to play as other characters. There's a very small roster of characters you play as throughout the campaign.
That's basically how I felt. I wish there was more.
It's not a bad thing because it tells a better story. I'm always for smaller casts because then you get better character development. But
Campaign still multiplayer?
No, it's all single player.
it helps and hurts. It helps because, like I said, you can tell a better story, but it hurts because then you can't play it with your friends and play with all the characters and stuff like that. So,
There are more characters that you play as than the chapters show, though.
yeah.
So you do have a wide variety, and I have a feeling once you get through that final mission, you won't be as disgruntled.
I'm
not saying you're
I'm
disgruntled,
nitpicking. I'm not mad.
But
And then the escalation mode, which is one of the multiplayer modes, has characters you can play as.
Yeah.
So a lot more.
Yeah, but overall, like I felt like once I got through that final mission and I got to see how that played out, I kind of wish there were more missions throughout the game like that.
That's how I.
That was fucking awesome.
Oh
Who was
yes.
there for it?
You didn't even fucking play it.
I don't know.
You son
I
of
don't
a
know if we
bitch.
Talk about spoilers or anything, but
Well, that's what I'm trying not to.
Yeah,
I
I
the
can.
ending I can understand.
Well,
but
here's what I can say about the last mission without spoiling anything. I'm not going to give away who you play as, but essentially, you start the mission out as a character. The cutscene. What it does is once you get to the beginning of that final mission, it then goes back to the beginning. And I can actually say what the beginning is because the beginning's on the demo. The beginning is the Exodus level that you play as Bumblebee. The first level in the game is technically part of the final chapter. When Bumblebee jumps in front and takes that bullet for Optimus and everything, he doesn't die, but he's all fucked up. After that, that is actually in the heat of a battle in space between Autobots and Decepticons. And in one long, fluid chapter, you will start off as an Autobot, do your mission, and then it transitions over to another part of the battlefield, and then you'll take over a Decepticon and play his part, and then when his part is fulfilled, you swing back over to an Autobot on a different part of the field, and then if they're going to do battle with each other, or if they're going to interact in some way, you'll start off with one, and then it swings over to that one entering the battle, and you take over him, and it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until it gets to the battle between Optimus and Megatron, and that's where it tells you, okay, at this point, who do you want to be, Optimus or Megatron? And that battle was a lot of fun, not only because it wasn't super challenging. But it was challenging enough to be fun, so you're not bored. And the banter back and forth between Optimus and Megatron is awesome. And the end sets up for the obvious next step in the series on where it's going to go from there.
Planet Jump.
Venus.
Venusaur.
But I do feel there was a lack of bosses in this game.
There were.
Yeah.
I thought there was too many.
You know what? Let's talk about Mass Effect 3 just for this guy right here.
No, it's okay. Yeah, there were a lack of bosses, but there's also a lot of homage to the G1
Yeah,
era.
there was definitely a lot of that more in this game
Yeah.
than anything else.
If anything, especially with Megatron and Starscream.
Any sort of homage to V1?
No.
Oh yeah.
I don't like you anymore. Turn your microphone off. Even though there's no way for you to do that.
You can do
I
it.
can beat someone.
You can do it.
I can hit stop on his thing, yeah, but I'm not going to do that.
Let's go to Howard's microphone then.
You know what? That's fine.
It is an area microphone.
But I forgot what it was going to. Yeah, it was like more homage to the G1 and a lot of fan service. I felt in Transformers more than anything else.
But I felt the story that they tell is really well done, and it moves very fluidly. There's nothing like it does. There's nothing where it just stops and like skips ahead or anything. It's one constant motion of what is going on, which I thought was really cool.
I do know that with the GameStop pre-order bonus of the G1 skin for Optimus, like, man, I wish there was a G1 skin for Megatron.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been kind of cool to go along with it.
Well, they would have, but he was created for the movie, so they didn't actually have a skin ready for him.
Yeah.
He'll have a shotgun and a cloak.
But the gun that you get for the retro pack is really cool. It's essentially Megatron in gun mode, and it makes the pew pew noises from the '80s cartoon, which I thought was really cool. That was kind of fun.
Transforming sound when you start
Yeah.
running.
And a lot of the stuff that they change as far as the Transformer mythos, like Dinobots being on Cybertron and everything, is actually explained pretty well. It's not half-assed on how they do it. And I don't want to spoil it, but they do explain how these guys become Dinobots.
I think in this sense they kind of borrowed from the comics.
They
with that.
kind of, yeah. They do, but in most of the comics, in a lot of the more recent comics, Grimlock was on Cybertron, but he was never a dinosaur.
No, but I think they were going
What
with.
actually happened to Dinobots?
But he does suffer something.
Yeah, but I was gonna say they also went with the rivalry between the Dinobots and Shockwave.
Yes,
That's what I was gonna
yes,
say.
and they do also go into the whole thing of Grimlock being altered. Like Grimlock isn't like that because he's built that way and he's just dumb. He's like that. It's actually the way it's explained. It's even It's extremely impressive that Grimlock is even able to speak.
Yeah, what happens is they weren't actually dinosaurs before, but they ate some dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets. Everlasting effect, man. Spoiled.
They do. I do like the homage when in the cartoon when Grimlock. I haven't gotten this far in the game yet. I just haven't had time. But it seems like they're kind of relating it too from the G1 cartoon with that episode where Grimlock was super smart. So
I do remember that episode.
I do remember that one.
now, if only he had a bow tie and
Top hat.
a bow tie and a
Monocle?
no. Was it an apron?
Okay.
And he was serving drinks.
Yeah.
Oh right, I know that one too. Actually,
Yeah. The only disappointment I can say in that level is he never says me Grimlock.
yeah, I was. a
Grimlock
little,
is actually voiced by the original.
He is, yeah, he
Yeah.
does get the original voice actor, which was cool.
First time in like forever.
And when you hear him, you know it's him. Like when I heard brief sound clips, I was like, that doesn't sound anything like him. But when you play it, it sounds,
Oh, yeah.
it's him.
Yes, sir.
And all his interaction with the rest of his team is pretty great too.
I did enjoy it.
His teammates are pretty great. I look forward. I want more of that. I want more of that.
More Dinobots, please.
Yes, they were pretty great. So overall, yeah, I thought the campaign was pretty good. Multiplayer, I also think is pretty solid. As far as the regular versus multiplayer, it doesn't do a whole hell of a lot to be different from War of Cybertron's multiplayer. But at the same time, I feel like they've polished enough of it where it does play a bit better. Escalation was in the previous game. It's essentially just capturing points in the level and keeping them. Well, I'm sorry, I'm thinking conquest mode. I meant to say conquest.
Oh.
Yeah, conquest mode is the capturing points and holding them and gathering things. You get the team deathmatch. You can capture the flag. Then you get headhunter mode, which when you kill people, you collect their spark, and then you have to take it back to base.
You collect sparks. And
Yeah.
Points for that.
Yeah.
No robot heaven in this game.
Any robot what?
Heaven.
No.
Alright.
I thought you said robot head. I was like, what?
Yeah, there's tons of those.
Yeah, there's tons of those.
Any robot Gwyneth Paltrow's head in the box?
No.
Oh, okay.
There's no female robots in the entire game. Yeah, Headhunter mode, and then once you max out every character, what is the max level for multiplayer characters?
I think it's 25.
25? Okay. Once you get all the classes to 25, it opens up Prime mode, which
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure what Prime mode is.
Neither do
You
I,
can
but
respec, basically. You can go back to 1 and level it up all over again. Because Prime mode was there was a Prime mode in the last game.
Okay, I don't remember because I never got that high.
Basically, like Prestige.
Yeah.
at least I would get a Dinobot head then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get a Dinobot head, or you can buy the actual Dinobot parts when they come out later this year.
Too much money.
Sad.
Yeah. But I thought all the I haven't played Capture the Flag or Headhunter mode yet. I played Conquest and Deathmatch.
Probably plays a lot like the other iterations.
Yeah. They all execute well. I think, I actually like Conquest mode quite a bit. I thought that was pretty fun. As far as Escalation, the way they changed it now is instead of you just selecting any characters on any of the maps, each map has a designated 4 characters that you can play as, and then most of them you'll start off in one small area, then obviously you can open doors to expand the areas, which give you access to more weapons, which give you access to terminals that you can open to have a random weapon or a random upgrade, which it's a lot of small changes. I don't think it was anything huge.
Not really.
But I think the changes they made were for the better.
I do feel that in Escalation they make you have to actually work as a team since it's now more class specific. I felt and compared to War.
Yeah, they very much focus on the team building, and it's 15 waves, and it definitely feels like something that if you want to get through all 15 waves, you're going to need 4 people. It's a 4-player mode. We tried with 3. We got to about wave 6. And then it just got ridiculous. It started raining robots of death on us.
Yep.
But the variety of robots that you fight against are actually a lot greater than in the first game. Like, you have flying snipers, you have heavy tanker guys, shotgunners, little melee dudes, Insecticons. It's all very interesting and very fun. Overall for the game, though, I would say it's best enjoyed if you're a Transformers fan. If you're a fan of third-person shooters and you haven't had one for a while that you've really grown a desire to play, I think this one's a fun experience. I don't know how much you'll get out of it if you're not a fan of the Transformers, but overall, I think it's better than War for Cybertron.
Yeah.
I think it's a very good sequel. I'm pumped for a third one. They better do a third one.
They have to.
Yeah, the way they took it, they have to do a third one. And there's really no place they can go rather than what people have been asking for since the first game.
Planet Jump.
There you go. So, I mean, I guess. Well,
I would love to see a Rekgar. Oh.
Give me Astro Train.
Fuck
Isn't
Astro Train.
stupid?
Astro Train would be badass.
Curse Astro Train. I want Rekgar.
I want to see.
Can't we have both?
No.
I want to see
I want
what.
Skylinks. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I said Skylinks.
I know you did.
I want 6-shot.
It'd be pretty cool. Unfortunately, he was Japanese only.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think Toy
Don't matter.
Best, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, it did because I had
He
it.
did appear in the last episode of the Transformers.
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, though, this is their own mythos. If they like 6-shot, they can put
Oh,
6-shot in there.
Well,
I mean, I guess
he has to have a secret 7th mode.
I guess it all depends on. Jeez, I guess it all depends on what Hasbro will approve. I think that's what it comes down to. They got to get approval from Hasbro on who they can use.
You know what? They need to give me cone heads. All the cone heads.
I want the Rainmakers.
Eh.
I want.
No one cares.
I want the 3 bots to turn into a camera.
You want Reflector.
Yeah.
He does
I would
want
love
a
a
reflector.
Reflector.
That'd be neat.
A toy Reflector. Anyway,
Mm-hmm. So,
game's good.
recommendation as far.
Buy it.
Is it a $60 purchase?
Yeah.
To us, it is.
think it's a $60 purchase for Transformers fan. Probably, I would say a $40 purchase for non-Transformer fans.
Fair enough. And then Kingdom Hearts. 3D Dream Drop Distance. What do you say?
$60 game if you're a fan of Transformers. $40 game if you're a fan of third-person shooters. That's what I say for Kingdom Hearts.
Well, I would say as far as how it plays, very similar to every other Kingdom Hearts.
I would say it's the closest console experience you're going to get on the portable.
I would also say with that, because everything is fairly similar. I just think like probably not going to be as many worlds as
no, it's not going to be as long a game.
But like the same kind of system, like you get new people that each world and all that fun junk.
It's all Disney themed.
All Disney themed this time. Also, good plans. The biggest thing, like the biggest change, I feel, are the drop system. You have to dive in any world. So those are probably the biggest changes. Which are some of the bigger problems I think of the game. I think the game's not.
Would you say that they're unnecessary?
Yes. I think the drop system is probably the most annoying thing. I've had time where I've almost killed a boss. Sora decided to go to sleep because what better timing? And then when I got back to Sora, the boss had full health and I played well again. And that's kind of an idiotic flaw in leaving the game. Also, the dive system is rather boring after the first couple dives, and every time you have to go to a new world, you do have to dive. So I think that's kind of a crap.
Would you say that that's better or worse than when they had gummy ships?
Oh, I don't know.
It's quicker than gummy ships.
It is quicker.
But you could customize a gummy ship.
You could. I don't like either one of them. I mean, I guess you have to have some way to get to the world. I guess the gummy ships make more sense.
The gummy ships
were at least fun considering they were massive things just to blow up. That was.
And I made mine ridiculous.
You could actually make your.
I got tired of the gummy ships really quick, so in comparison, I think I'd take the drop system because it's over in like a minute or two.
I still don't like it.
No, I mean, I just
nothing's like they don't like alternate anything.
Yeah.
Like oh, I had to fight this boss Sora or with Riku. Later on in the game, you have to fight the same boss as Sora.
Yeah.
You still have to do the same thing.
Well, I'm not saying
I'm
not saying I like the dive system. I'm just saying if I have to choose between gummy and dive system, I choose dive system. That's all I'm saying.
I just choose.
It's the lesser of two evils to me.
Can't I just get a cutscene going into the world? Can I just get that? I really need something.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, at this point,
Only if you got 30 minutes to waste.
Yeah.
Another gripe of mine, this is actually one thing I have with, is controlling the menu while in a fight. Like
When you're in the middle of a heated boss battle and you need to heal yourself, you have to stop and navigate the menu and get to your potions or cure and use it. Otherwise, you have to move the 3DS so that you can put both your hands, one on the thumbstick and one on the analog stick. I thought that was really hindered it for me. So
yeah, so that's one big.
And that's nothing that you could really fix.
Yeah,
because it's a hardware thing.
But yeah, so that's one of the big things. But I mean, overall, the game does play very much like any other game.
The gameplay is solid. I got no problem with the
gameplay. If you love Kingdom Hearts and you have 3DS, you might as well get this game.
It's one of the better games on the 3DS.
Do you have to play through each world with both of them?
Yes.
Okay, so you have to play every world twice.
Yes, but different stuff happens.
There's a different storyline for each one.
Okay.
So, like, if you go to the Hunchback of Notre Dame world, it plays. I mean, you fight the same boss at the end, but it plays out differently, and you fight the boss in two different spots. Like,
okay.
With Sora, you fight the boss like on the ground, and with Riku, you fight the boss like in the air.
Yeah. And I noticed in Traverse Town, the boss kind of acted differently between the two characters.
Yeah, when you were inside Monstro, for Riku's part, you are inside Monstro. For Sora, you are actually in a town.
Yeah.
And the one boss is like fire on the other side.
Yeah. And I know in like the grid, Riku meets up with Jeff Bridges' son, while Sora. but who they start out meeting first.
And what they actually go to do are two separate things.
Yeah, because I know Riku does the light cycle, which I thought was okay.
Yeah, he does. And like they actually go towards the end of Tron too.
Yeah.
While Sora ends up dealing with Riddler because he met Tron and Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
I believe it was.
Yes, he did. He went to the Tron world in Kingdom Hearts 2.
So I mean, so it's different as far as those stories. So.
Mm-hmm.
All I can say is if you. One of the gripes screw the story. I hate the story of Kingdom Hearts.
The story is very convoluted.
I'm at the point where anytime I can like see a past scene, I just skip it because I'm not gonna understand what's really going on.
But I will say that the game does its best to catch you up.
It does.
There's plenty. There's cutscenes that show past events. There's galleries. There's text. I think it's actually a pretty good resource to catch up on the story. If you haven't played Birth by Sleep, if you haven't played 358 over 2 days, what the fuck that is. If you haven't played those games, or if you haven't beaten them, it gives you a pretty good synopsis of each one, and gives you scenes to help catch you up.
Yeah, so...
If you're interested in the story, it will do its best to catch you up.
Yeah, watching those cutscenes, the ones that you skipped, does give someone like me who hasn't played any of those a full idea of how convoluted that story is.
But the graphics are really pretty, so the cutscenes are actually kind of nice to watch.
Yes.
They're
the voice acting's really good.
Yeah, so all I can say is if you like Kingdom Hearts and you have 3DS, buy it.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a 3DS and you want an RPG to play, that's pretty much one of the best ones you're going to get.
It's a really good option. It's way better than the dungeon crawler known as Heroes of Ruin.
Play the demo. That's all you'll need.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it so far. I'm not as far in as you guys, but so far I'm glad I picked it up because I played a little bit on your system, Howard, and I was like, man, I want to buy this, and I did. And I'm pretty happy with my purchase. Because I've played some of the other handheld Kingdom Hearts, and I hated them.
I've played all of them except for Birth by Sleep because it's on PSP and I'll have one. So I've played 358 over 2 days. I've played Chain of Memories. I've played. Was there another one?
I don't know.
But anyway, the story's confusing as all hell. But
the story is confusing.
It's only confusing because they have multiple, like the characters split when the heart is broken or whatever. So you've got like Ansem and Xemnas.
Yeah.
It's confusing keeping track of who's who.
Yeah, I didn't like the DS one at all. The DS one.
The DS one was a good try. And then they had multiple.
I don't know. Like I don't even know if I can say it was a good try. It's like you never felt like you were in a world. You felt like you were in a room.
Yeah.
And that was it. Yeah, they eat popsicles at the end, like sea salt popsicles or whatever the fuck they were.
Sea salt popsicles.
And but it's like, hey, let's put you in a room. You fight some things, take you out, eat a popsicle, and then go do it again. It's whatever. All right, guys, thanks for joining in. Next week we'll have more news and maybe a Persona 4 Arena review. Who knows? We'll see what Brett's up. We'll see what Brett's up for.
See what these guys do this Friday.
Yeah. So enjoy, guys. Thanks for joining. See you later next week.
Bye.
Nicolas Cage is Sully.
He's knocking at the door.